should appreciate having good special teams because that was really the difference in the game. Their field goal kicker was 2 for 4 and ours was 2 for 2. We have to be happy about the offense putting up 34 points. However, second half did not look good. They had quite a few 3-and-outs. I think they had maybe 1 or 2 4-and-outs and 1 or 2 5-and-outs. And you can't be happy about Cincinnati putting up 27 on our defense, but at the end of the day, you have to be able to run the ball to put games away. You can say, well, they did put up 110 yards, but we were running too high the whole game. And in the red zone, Bengals were 2 for 4. Most of their points came from explosive plays and not run plays. So we have to figure out how to play double coverage on a single wide receiver better because there's one play where looked like one guy was guarding the left side, one guy was guarding the right side. The wide receiver runs just vertically and beats both of them for a touchdown. And my thinking on that is play him like you would play a gunner on a punt and just press the shit out of him for 5 yards. And if he does break out, you have the inside guy break under, have the outside guy stay on top, and vice versa. If he does an in route or slant, then you have the outside guy break under and the inside guy stay on top. But there needs to be a way to guard a wide receiver better than just standing off to the left and off to the right and have him run vertically up the field for a touchdown. According to NGS, Herbert and Burrow both threw 2 deep touchdown passes on the night. The first time opposing quarterbacks threw multiple deep passes in a game this season. And only the 5th time in the NGS era since 2016. Herbert completed the second highest completion percentage over expected in the second half, or in a half, with at least 10 attempts over in his career, plus 21.5%. The second half, however, he was only 7 of 22 for 114 yards, resulting in the third lowest CPOE in a half with at least 10 attempts in his career. He had an average time of throw of 3.13, 5th longest in a game of his career. He did not record a single completion on a quick pass across 42 total dropbacks, the most pass attempts without a quick completion by a quarterback in a game in the NGS era since 2016. Chargers utilized man coverage on a season-high 34.5% of dropbacks, but allowed Burrow to complete 8 of his 17 attempts for 120 yards and 3 touchdowns against man coverage. T. Higgins set season highs in receiving yards and receiving yards over expected, with most of his production coming against off coverage. Trey Hendrickson recorded a team-high 5 pressures and a half a sack on 35 pass rushes, 14.3 pressure rate against Chargers. All 5 of his pressures came on one-on-one matchups with left tackle Rashawn Slater. Regarding the AFC playoff picture, things have now gotten really interesting because the Bills beat the Chiefs. So the Chiefs are only 1 game ahead of the Bills. So if the Chiefs drop another game and the Bills only stay or don't lose any more games, then it's possible the Bills can become the number 1 seed because they have head-to-head with the Chiefs now. That means that the Chiefs will drop to 2nd seed or lower, with the Steelers being probably in the 3rd. And the Chargers also have a chance to probably snag a 2 or 3 seed if they don't lose any more games and the Steelers or Bills or Chiefs drop more games. Chargers could potentially be looking at a home game in the wild card. Could even, if they can get the 2nd seed, even be looking at 2 playoff home games. But that means they probably won't be able to lose any more games, and Steelers would have to lose more games than the Chargers because Steelers have head-to-head with the Chargers. Chiefs have head-to-head on the Chargers, but if we beat the Chiefs, then I'm not sure what happens with that. Obviously, we would probably have to beat the Ravens. We don't play the Texans, and we'd probably have to beat the Broncos again. So AFC seeding just got really interesting in that regard. So we'll see what happens. Offensively, Justin Herbert only finished with a 41.0 QBR. I think QBR is highly predicated on converting on 3rd downs, and I think Herbert was either explosive or he went 3 and out. So that's certainly going to bring QBR down. His passer rating, however, was 94.3. Joe Burrow's was 98.4. Justin Herbert was 1 completion away from perfect passer rating in the first half. Herbert was, however, very good rushing. He rushed for 65 yards on the night with an average of 13 yards per run. J.K. Dobbins was 11 for 56, average of 5.2, 2 touchdowns. Gus was 6 for 27, 4.5. We had 3 receivers averaged over 20 yards per catch. McConkey, Disley, Johnston. Palmer was 2 for 23 for 11.5 average. Palmer had some good clutch catches, but he also had some drops, contested catches. defensively we looked good at times, but then we would give up big explosive plays, and that's kind of the danger of blitzing, kind of the way we do. I think one particular play in the red zone, Jamar Chase did a slant and Burrow just hit him over the top. I think, in my opinion, and I know it's easy to look back and say woulda, coulda, shoulda, but it would have probably been a better idea to have someone drop back into that slant area at least, just to take away that threat. But again, we got the win. So, but at the end of the day, they still put up 27 points, which is a lot. Tuli had a good game. 4 quarterback hits. Thought Puna Ford looked good again. Tyler Tart looked good again. Joey Bosa had 3 quarterback hits. Bud Dupree 2. Dion 2. Perman looked good until he got injured. Then Troy Dye came in and he looked decent.